Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are finally assembling the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure from the Black Widow movie wave. Here we have all the figures needed in this wave to complete the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure. Taskmaster is not included as he does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but we do have Black Widow with the left leg, Yelena with the torso, Red Guardian with the left arm, Bucky with the head, Crossbones with the right arm, and Spy Master with the right leg. But enough about that, let's go ahead and get this assembled and take a look at the Crimson Dynamo. And here is the Crimson Dynamo all put together, and I will admit that I don't know a ton about this character. I think I've seen the Crimson Dynamo pop up in a few books that I read back in the 90s, however, it would not have been this version. Based on the research I did, it looks like this is going to be the 8th iteration of the character, and it was featured in Zone miniseries back in 2003. I don't know if this look has carried on throughout the last 2 decades or not, but that looks to be what it's based on. Now, that doesn't stop me from enjoying the figures, though. I'm always happy to get more characters that fit with other characters in the universe. And Crimson Dynamo, certainly, when I look up his history, looks like he has some history with Iron Man, Black Widow, and just some other characters. So I always like having more people to fill out the shelf, so I have no problem with that. Now, when standing straight up, Crimson Dynamo is coming in at about 8 inches tall, which makes him 20.3 centimeters tall, so he is quite a sizable Build-A-Figure. But since he doesn't come with any accessories whatsoever, let's go ahead and just jump in here and take a look at the sculpt and paint on Crimson Dynamo. And getting up close here on Crimson Dynamo, pretty cool looking head sculpt. I mean, nothing too crazy. This is power armor, so it is meant to be, a person in here. So very bulky, though. I like it. And you can see we get a little bit of a gradient here in the visor, just to kind of signify that it's glowing. And we sort of see that same gradient used again here in the star on the chest, just to again signify that that is a glowing piece. Looking at like the shoulders, I mean, I love the detail in here. We got all these cracks throughout, but nothing to show off the details. No wash or anything like that. So somebody spent time to sculpt all that great detail in there, and then we don't get to see it. And same thing with like the rivets and stuff. Maybe like a silver paint on the rivets might have made it look pretty cool. A wash. And the wash, I will admit, would have had to be more than just the shoulders. You would have had to put it over the whole thing to make it look good. But just kind of shows you where a little bit more attention to the paint would have been pretty cool. And then same thing with like, I assume these are rivets here. I mean, it looks cool. I like this design. I love the big thruster here in the back. But it's very basic. We don't get a whole lot of paint going on with it other than, there so far in here. These are all separate plastic pieces, so nothing is painted. I do like these things going around the wrist here. I assume these are some sort of energy cells or something like that. And it uses this translucent plastic with this blue in there. I like that, or maybe a teal, green. It looks like we got one canister meant to be broken. And that is different. This one doesn't have a broken one, so that is cool. We get a fisted hand on the one side and then a open gesture hand. I'm okay with that combination if we're not going to get interchangeable hands. I like having one of each versus both being fisted hands if we're not going to get interchangeable hands, which we didn't with this one. Then going down, just more details. Looks like, again, like another, I don't want to say that's a thruster. That would be a silly thruster. Maybe that's some sort of exhaust port or just, more embellishments just for the sake of looking cool. Then actually it looks like we do get some paint here on the foot. That's kind of cool looking there at the bottom. I mean, it is a very cool looking figure. I just wish, like I said, there was a bit more paint going on just to kind of show off, more stuff. Looks like exhaust ports up there too, is what that is. So I do like this design, though. It is very cool looking. Now looking at the articulation, so the head can actually rotate around, but you notice the neck is actually moving as well. There is a, oh, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Does that come off? Ooh, boy. So it looks like the glue on mine is quite loose, so be careful with that. I don't want to peel it off the rest of the way. That's not meant to come off from the look of it. But the neck is, or the head rather, is on a ball joint up there, but it looks like most of the articulation is going to come from the neck piece. So it can look down and up okay, and it can move and twist and turn. Man, that's kind of a Irritating, though, that's coming off. The arm can come up at about a full 90. You're not going to get a full rotation without hitting that shoulder piece, which can come unpressed in there from the peg. No big deal. But you do get, like I say, that rotation otherwise if it wasn't there. You have a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow that's just under 90 degrees, not quite there. You do have rotation and a hinge at both of the wrists. You do get a very cool diaphragm joint that actually has a great range on it. Full rotation, some good side to side, decent crunch forward and backwards, so very good. I actually really like the articulation for being such a big guy. The legs don't come apart very far, though. Doesn't kick forward terribly far. You do get a bicep swivel there where, of course, the Build-A-Figure piece goes in. Double jointed knee, but not very deep. And then you do get a hinge. There we go. Well, it's there, and ankle pivot. But really, this guy does seem like he's a bit more posable than some of the other bigger Build-A-Figures that we've gotten in the past. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And while recording this, I feel like I flew through this review. I just feel like there wasn't much more to say. I think a good wash and some dry brushing on some of the corners and things like that would have really made this stand out as a more battle-worn piece of power armor versus kind of the clean-looking armor that we have here. I mean, they did try with like the cracks in the shoulders, the cracks in this little piece here, but there's just nothing to really bring out those details, so that is a bit of a downer. I am still happy to get it in the collection, though. I always like big Build-A-Figures. I mean, even if it's somebody that I don't know much about, I'm going to learn about them and find a cool way to pose them in the collection for sure. But if I missed something in the review, leave a comment down below and let me know what it was. Leave a comment down below anyway. Let me know what you think of this Build-A-Figure. Subscribe for more content just like this. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you liked the video. And as always, thanks for watching my reviews, and have a great day.